maturity in their faith and lead by example, guiding the younger members of the group with wisdom. Junior leaders serve as mentors and assist in planning group activities, while newer members are expected to learn from the established leaders and contribute as they grow in their spiritual understanding. Even the newest members are given small tasks that help them integrate into the ministry culture with guidance and support from the rest of the team. Each week, Pastor David holds a 20-minute devotional and group check-in where every team member has the opportunity to offer praise or raise any concerns. Despite being demanding, Pastor David is also caring, ensuring that his team knows they can approach him for spiritual guidance and support during tough times. He uses humor and light-hearted moments to build a culture of warmth, even during intense period of ministry. Pastor David isn't focused on just completing tasks or program. He is focused on building relationships with God and others, believing that through this, the work of the ministry will flourish. So the questions, question 1, what leadership traits account for Pastor David's success? How would you describe, 2, how would you describe Pastor David's leadership abilities? Leadership includes administrative skills, interpersonal skills, and conceptual skills. How does Pastor David stack up on these skills? How does Pastor David integrate tasks and relationship behaviors in this leadership? From a relational perspective, how would you describe Pastor David's leadership? In what way does Pastor David's ministry exemplify leadership as an influence process? So let's contribute. So who goes first?
I would like to go first. I believe question 1 says, what leadership traits account for Pastor David's success? From the what we read, Pastor David demonstrated democratic leadership by including everyone in his team. So he first encountered resistance because he was new to the team. He was not part of them. He didn't grow to be a leader among them, but he was a new addition and he's a leader. He go on to organize meetings and included everyone. So allowing everyone to participate, allowing everyone to share their thoughts, allowing everybody to share their mindset, allowing everybody to feel a sense of belonging, opened up the people that were hostile to him before. And I can see that from the leadership ability that he has demonstrated by being democratic, it accounted for his success. So that is what I believe accounted greatly for Pastor David's success in the ministry.
Okay, thank you so much. The next person, I don't know, should I call names or do we volunteer? I can call names. So who is going to answer number 2? Question number 2, what question number 2 says is, how would you describe Pastor David's leadership abilities? Hello, can we hear me? Okay, Rachel. Rachel, you raised your hand, so you can go ahead. Okay, question 2. Yeah, all so right. Please, you take question 3.
I can take question 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, I would describe Pastor David as a transformational leader. He inspires others, he empowers them, and also he cultivates growth within
Oh, okay, that's great. So, Peace, are you ready now?
Yes, please. Could you please read out the third question?
Okay. The third
His
question
team. His
says,
ability to build a sense of unity and share mission makes him his holistic leadership approach. It blends spiritual, relational, and task-oriented leadership seamlessly. So I'll describe Pastor David as a transformational leader.
thank you so much, Rachel. So number 3, leadership includes administrative skills, interpersonal skills, and conceptual skills. How does Pastor David stack up on these skills? So Peace, go ahead.
I believe that Pastor David stacks up well because in terms of interpersonal skills, he's able to delegate properly, which is also important when from the case study, we can see, okay, he's saying you have juniors, you have seniors, and all these people work together well. And he's able to delegate tasks properly, reporting properly. So those also show good administrative skills as well. And even despite the fact that the team didn't really start off on the right foot, in the sense that, okay, they weren't working well together, he was still able to bring them together to sort of a more cohesive team. And it shows that, okay, he's able to think of new ideas in order to make that happen. So, yes, that's my thoughts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're going for number 4. Who will do number 4? Number 4 says, how does Pastor David integrate task and relationship behaviors in his leadership? Who will take that? Fejiro, go ahead.
I was able to integrate tasks by assigning responsibility to different leaders. So we had the senior leaders that were able to model maturity in faith. We had the junior leaders that were standing as mentors to others. So that was how I was able to integrate tasks to different set of persons in the church. He didn't just leave it to a particular group of people. He was able to integrate every group that was in the church, including new members. So that was how I was able to integrate tasks. Then he had relationship with them, where he had a group checking, where he showed care for different challenges that he had. He was able to support them, and he was also approachable. So he was able to he did not just ask, he was able to integrate task and relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll be looking at question 5. We'll be doing that for us. Okay. Should I call name?
I think someone can take it that has not taken before.
But Rachel is raising her hand. If you can, I don't know why others are not.
Go ahead.
Please,
go ahead.
we are as weak as our weakest link. I mean, we are strong as our weakest link. So let's just, Rachel, go ahead instead of us to wait. I don't know why. Let me read question 5. Question 5 said, from a relational perspective, how would you describe Pastor David's leadership? From a relational perspective, how would you describe Pastor David's leadership?
From a relational perspective, I'll describe Pastor David's leadership as a form of a servant leadership style. I mean, he connects well with his audience. He empowers others by giving them roles that match their individual growth stage. He focuses on he listens to concerns through his weekly check-ins, thereby encouraging an environment of trust where his church members and leaders can rely on him. He also is human and warmth, creates an atmosphere where people feel safe and valued even while doing God's work. So I would describe his, from a relational perspective, I would describe his leadership style as a servant leadership. It wasn't just up there and giving orders. He relates well with the people, with his church members.
Yeah, thank you so much. More like he's just very, should you say, down to earth in a layman's language.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yes. So,
exactly.
yes. So we'll be doing question 6. Who will do question 6? Jumoke, are you ready? Question 6 says, in what way does Pastor David's ministry exemplify leadership as an influence process? In what way does Pastor David's ministry exemplify leadership as an influence process?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In a way, Pastor David's ministry exemplify leadership in the form of, the way we're talking about this theory X and theory Y, he believes that things will forgive the people's mind and whatever they are doing, which is like the theory Y. Is God and people centered. He's not just an autocratic leader. He believes that even during crisis, if he focuses on God and building relationship with the people he's working with, then the ministry will move, because the extent or the influence of a ministry is based on the people working in it. A church is not just the building, it's the people inside the church that makes up a church. So he focused on ensuring that his relationship with God is fine, and he creates a warm environment for everybody. And the hierarchy in leadership makes it also very easy in the way that if even if he doesn't have time for probably the new members, but he already have a system running. There's a system, there's a structure by which the ministry is running with. So he's a man, he has a vision and he's working strategically towards it. So he makes his work quite easy. Even during crisis, they are calm, because he knows that, okay, if people in their individual lives are good, they can serve God better, their mind is there, they can do whatever task is being assigned to them. So he looks at the strength. I can say it's strength-based leadership. He look at the strength of the people. So people harnessing the strength of the people working with him as a team makes the ministry move higher and better, because they are is not judging by their weakness, is not just condemning, or as a leader you carry the people you're working with along on the journey, and there is a clear vision everybody's running with, and he really works with that. And the hierarchy in leadership, the strength based, like looking at the strength of each people, creating a unity week where he can easily talk to them. By talking to them, building relationships with them, make you know their strength or their weakness, and you know how to harness the strength to bring out the best in them. It makes them take ownership of whatever task that is being assigned to them, and that really influences the ministry in a very positive way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. So we'll be going to case study 2.
Okay.
And let's get ready.
Yeah,
let's get
let
ready.
me make a little comment.
Okay.
For case study 2, we have a limited time. For this meeting, we will disconnect in 10 minutes. We can rejoin again. But
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but for our case study 2, we need to just answer the question in a very short time. Go ahead.
Okay, I will just read this, right?
Yeah, if you can, yeah.
Let me read it quickly so that you can cut off. Okay, case study 2. Even quiet forces can lead. The story of Jessica. Jessica's journey to becoming an influential leader in the marketplace wasn't one of flashy promotions or dramatic moments. In fact, it started off quietly. When Jessica first took charge of a small team at a leading tech firm, she was initially met with skepticism. Her leadership didn't fit the typical mold. She wasn't interested in corporate jargon or quick wins. Instead, she focused on something transforming her team from the inside out. Jessica, a committed Christian, began to reshape the culture of leading with authenticity, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to save others. Her first move wasn't to roll out a new business strategy. It was to listen. In a high-pressure environment where success is often measured by quarterly results, Jessica's approach was radically different. She invested time in understanding her employees' personal values, challenges, and aspirations. Her leadership wasn't about commanding results. It was about aligning each person's purpose with the company's mission. Jessica's leadership became known for its quiet but undeniable strength. She didn't dominate meetings with aggressive tactics or power plays. Instead, she became a master at what she calls strategic humility. She would step back and empower her team to lead decisions, trusting them with both responsibility and authority. Yet her guidance was ever present. Her presence in the room wasn't marked by a title, but by purpose, a purpose driven by her faith. When the company hit a critical crossroad, facing intense competition and the temptation to cut ethical corners, Jessica led her team through the storm. With each decision, she reminded them that their identity as leaders wasn't based on what the company achieved alone, but on how they led through honesty and compassion. Jessica didn't build a high-performing team. She built one that would not compromise its values, even when the world around them seemed to. Through her leadership, Jessica redefined success in the marketplace, not by numbers alone, but by the way her team treated each other, their clients, and the communities they served. Today, her department is one of the most innovative and respected, not because of the biggest profit, but because Jessica's leadership set a culture of integrity, trust, and unwavering commitment to doing business God's way. So that's all the question. That's all the reading. So the questions: what leadership traits account for Jessica's success as a Christian leader in the marketplace? How would you describe Jessica's leadership ability in the marketplace? Leadership includes administrative skill, interpersonal skill, and conceptual skills. How does Jessica stock up on these skills? How does Jessica integrate tasks and relationship behaviors in her leadership? From a relational perspective, how would you describe Jessica's leadership? In what way does Jessica's leadership exemplify leadership as an influence process in the marketplace?
Okay, can I answer the first question?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question is, what leadership traits account for Jessica's success as a Christian leader in the marketplace? Okay, so I'll say Jessica's success can be attributed to a number of things. One is her authenticity and integrity. She, as we can see in the story, she led with honesty and moral clarity. Even when it came down to, oh, is either we compromise or maybe the company goes down or gets into some issues,
she still chose her ethics. She still chose her ethics. She still chose her, basically her moral clarity. So she was authentic and she was true to herself. She was true to her faith, and she aligned her actions with her Christian values. I also said another thing that contributed is her empathy and active listening. She didn't just get into the team and start saying, "Oh, let's work." She chose to know the people in the team, and I believe that this would also help her delegate properly based on their strengths, right? So she prioritized understanding her team's personal values and challenges, and then she created a culture where individuals feel valued. I believe another thing is that contributed to her success is empowerment. Her willingness to delegate decision-making authority shows her trust in her team, and things like this actually boost team's confidence, and it gives them this ownership mentality. Another thing I believe is resilience. Even in high pressure situations, she maintained commitment to her ethics and her faith, and she showed compassion as a leader as well.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So much insight to get here. So who will take number 2?
Okay, so before we take number 2,
Okay.
I believe we can take a pause.
Okay, and log back in.
Yeah, and log back in. I already paused
All
it.
right.
Yes, shows
Okay.
3 minutes. I don't think that we can finish.
No, we can't. So what we'll do is to log back in. All right. So now question 2 says, how would you describe Jessica's leadership abilities in the marketplace? So Adejumoke, you can go ahead now.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I
Good
would
evening.
describe Jessica's leadership as this second laissez-faire kind of leadership. It was described as a tech firm. Everybody is intelligent. Everybody owns their thing. So the best way she can handle it is like, okay, own your thing, even in the team. Do your thing. You have the power. You have the authority. Like it changes them from. She changed them from inside out via her faith. During this program, this just concluded exponential conference. Mrs. Ibukwa was talking about being a Christian in the marketplace, and she made a statement that is so resonant. As a leader, you should know that you are not a business person that is a Christian. You are a Christian in the business space, and that is what Jessica depicted. She's not so focused on the quick wins. She's focused on changing their character. The integrity of the group should be known and resounding. The fact that she's a woman of faith. So it's not only about, maybe winning, competing. Everybody owns their thing. They are all intelligent. They are all leaders in their own space. So she gave them the opportunity to thrive, and that helped the team to a more bigger wins. And when they are faced with crisis, they weather the storm as a team, and eventually everybody comes to work together with her. They realized she's not there to just lord over them as a leader, but she's there to just coordinate the team, and through her leadership style grow the firm. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we'll be going to question 3. And question 3 says, leadership includes administrative skills, interpersonal skills, and conceptual skills. How does Jessica stack up on these skills? So who will take this one?
Okay, so I want to take this one. So leadership, Jessica's style of leadership shows that she's really administrative, because she was able to handle all the team by giving them opportunity to be responsible. And she was using values, which are humility and strategic planning, to lead the team, not in a hard way, but as a soft power. So whenever she showed up, people already knows her character, people already knows her value. So it's kind of like an inspiration to them. And interpersonal skills for her is for her to be able to put the different departments together. She's in a workspace and she's leading different teams, and she's able to communicate with each one of them differently and bring out their strengths. So Jessica is able to display that even for different sets of people that are working together with our own leadership style of not enforcing them to do things, giving them the opportunity and helping them to communicate, helping them to work together, that they can actually achieve their set goal as an organization.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. So who'll be taking the next one? That's question 4. We have just three more. That's including this question 4. So the 4th question says, how does Jessica integrate task and relationship behaviors in her leadership? How does Jessica integrate task and relationship behaviors in her leadership? In the midst of that, I want to say that she's a great team builder.
Yes.
Or a team leader. Yeah, so do I need to call names? Joyful, good evening. Gospel, good evening. You've not spoken. Jumoke Emmanuel, good evening. Michael Musa, good evening. Shegunda Milare, good evening. Please, we are strong as our weakest link. Can we contribute so that we get this podcast done? Delight, good evening. Hello, are we sleeping?
No, we're not. I'm not.
No, the people I called, I'm asking them if we are sleeping. Hi, Delight. Hi, Goswill. Hi, Joyful. Hi, Jumoke Emmanuel. Hi, Michael Musa. Hi, Shegun Damilari.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, talk.
I can tell you.
I thought that you have dumped us here. God
No,
bless
not
you.
really. Thank you, man.
Okay, so we have question 4, sorry. And question 4 says, how does Jessica integrate task and relationship behaviors in her leadership? So we need your contribution.
Yeah, like what you said, honestly, for me too, I feel she knows how to build team. She's a team builder. Yeah, she has that that in her. I mean, I would say she's a team player and a very good one at that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so does any other person have anything to talk about question 4 before we go to 5? Please answer me. We are strong as our weakest link. If we do not talk, this is our mark. Our class will be like this.
Okay, go ahead, Goswin.
So question 5 says, from a relational perspective, Philip, I understand, but
Someone
it's
raised the
not
hand.
that all of us.
Someone is raising their hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't seeing it because I
Joyful.
was trying to read out.
Yeah, I think
Okay, Joyful. Okay, Joyful, we are reading now question 5 for you. From a relational perspective, how would you describe Jessica's leadership? Joyful, God bless you.
Okay, so I would say that from a relational perspective, she had a way of, she had a technique to her leadership, right? She wasn't allowed she wasn't a loud person, and I would say she wasn't bossy. It looked like, oh, maybe she would be a calm person, but she was diplomatic. Let me just put it like that. She was diplomatic, where she was able to use her calm nature, as a force, whereby she was able to influence people, which I feel like that's the best way to lead, whereby you can actually, I don't want to use the word coerce, but then it's just a technique where people just get to follow you because you know what you're doing, you know where you are going, and then they are just in awe of you and they believe in what you're doing because you too believe in it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we're going for question 6. Hi, Musa. You said hi. You're saying hi. So maybe you're taking
Yes,
question 6 for us.
I was trying to add on what she said. So
Oh, okay.
Jessica,
Go ahead.
so she wasn't bossy. Rather, she relied on her on understanding the people, listening carefully to be able to make the right decisions, rather than just talking over people or being bossy.
Thank you. So we're going to question 6, and that's the last question. Question 6 says, in what way does Jessica's leadership exemplify leadership as an influence process in the marketplace? As an influence process in the marketplace.
Go ahead.
So who is taking this for us?
Her leadership was able to influence where she was in the marketplace because she practiced ethical leadership. She had a goal from the first day was to transform the team, and she held on to her values irrespective of the challenges that came along the way in the business. So she was able to sell her values to the people she worked with. She was working with her team, even when they wanted her to do otherwise. So that was how she was able to influence them. At the end of the day, she was able to sell her values, her faith, even in the marketplace without challenges changing her. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. She did not become the real apostle in the marketplace. Thank you so much. So who has any other thing to contribute to this while we round up?
Okay, so to that last question, I believe that what Jessica did, she was able to transform the whole team, and the transformation did not just stop in transformation. She also led the team to success. So that's my contribution. I think Oyeni is raising their hand. Rachel.
Yeah.
Yes, just to add to that number 6, she shows that success is not just about profit, but about how you lead and serve others. She didn't force her team to follow her. She models the way, thereby making it easy for them to follow her. And lastly, I would say she ensures that they step up into their own leadership roles.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for showing up. It's not easy anyway. Jeff, you're raising your hand, you can talk. It's not easy anywhere, but showing up for yourself is important. And like I said, we are as strong as our weakest link. So even the people that are not here, we are trying to represent them, and we should try to build this team player of a team. It's important. Even if you're tired, just show up. Just say hi to us and it's fine. Jeff, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly add that, in leadership, it's when you know where you're going, and you go where you're going, like when you have a knowledge of where you're going to and you also follow through to it, people actually draw from your energy, right? The people you're leading, they get that energy from you because you know what you're doing. But when there's an iota of doubt, people can actually sense that, and then they begin to doubt you because you're also doubting yourself. And Jessica showed that she knew where she was going and she put her head to it. She didn't even allow the fact that, oh, you know, when people see that, oh, this person doesn't talk, this person is a calm person, is a quiet person, is a smallish person, or whatever. She didn't use that. She didn't even let that be a border. She just knew that, okay, look, I know what I'm doing. I can actually do this. And they saw it and then they followed. That's how I would specify that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, like the Bible says, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. She's really focused, and she was focused on what she wanted and what she knew she want to uphold the values for, and she kept at it. So, you know, like generally, when you look at this leadership and other books that you might read around, everybody's just trying to figure out their life, figure out what they are doing. Nobody has come to this life before, except those that believe in reincarnation. And that's taken into consideration. You find out that as leaders, learning leadership 101, we need to have self-confidence, we need to have courage to be able to push in anything that we believe in. And that's the only way we can succeed. Because I mean, you will keep figuring it out, but just believe and keep focus. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much.